Today marks an important milestone for VMware Cloud. Pat touched on a number of key developments in our cloud strategy. So let's take a look at the overall news and then dive into the details. Today we're releasing a full slate of new and enhanced services for our advanced VMware Cloud portfolio. As Pat mentioned, this is the 4th cloud services release in just 6 months, and that's an incredible pace of innovation. I've managed engineering teams at VMware for many years and released a lot of products. This is a testament to the way that VMware is adopting to the new way we deliver products and services, even after those 20 years. The VMware Cloud portfolio is built around the concept that customers want maximum flexibility in how they choose their cloud infrastructure, but without introducing undue complexity or risk. And we do this by delivering consistent infrastructure and consistent operations across any cloud. We conducted a survey across not just our customer base, but broadly speaking across the IT customer base. And what we found was that 85% of those respondents want consistent cloud infrastructure from data center to cloud. VMware wants to give customers that type of freedom. The best environment in which to build an application, the best environment to run an application, and the ability to deliver that app to any device. It's what we call any app, any cloud, any device. When customers have this level of flexibility, they can move with speed. It increases the level of IT agility, it delivers services more rapidly, and ultimately, they can make the biggest impact on their business. Flexibility, however, can sometimes come at a cost of increased complexity. So choosing from a wide range of application types, different types of infrastructure options, many different cloud providers, that can cause you challenges with dealing with this complexity. And that complexity that comes with this undoubtedly jeopardizes efficiency. It can make costs unpredictable, and worse, it can increase the threat of security vulnerabilities. This is the same pattern that we saw in the early days of the data center. The challenge that VMware is uniquely qualified to tackle is deal with that complexity. We help our customers increase the agility while managing that complexity and risk from any data center to the cloud. This concept of establishing a consistent infrastructure and a consistent operations across hybrid cloud is best represented by our VMware Cloud on AWS offering. This is a unique solution. It is jointly engineered between VMware and AWS. It is sold and supported by VMware and our partners, but it leverages the best cloud infrastructure in the world. It builds on 20 years of VMware experience building and managing hybrid clouds for customers and our cloud services partners. It is engineered to be seamless with the on-premise data center, and is of course built around the VMware Cloud Foundation, the very essence of the SDDC, our core compute, storage, and network technologies. On top of this, we have added cloud management services to make sure it is secure and reliable. As Pat mentioned, today we are introducing the first European-based service operating in the AWS UK Centre, and this will shortly be expanded to Frankfurt. This is a clear benefit for our customers. It offers them increased performance, it offers reduced latency, and it brings those services close to customers and employees. One of the things that customers often ask us about when they're moving to the cloud is data sovereignty. They need to worry about the different standards and the different regulations. They need to manage customer and corporate data, and how do they stay in compliance with new rules and regulations such as the GDPR. They have specific types of data which must be maintained within specific countries. Our support for EMEA-based VMware Cloud on AWS allows our EMEA-based customers and multinational organizations to address those concerns of data sovereignty and regulation. At VMworld in Las Vegas, Pat and Andy promised to be in every major market by the end of 2018. And that made customers excited. We have pent-up demand. They're excited about this specific expansion now into the EMEA market. However, we're not just talking about expanding where VMware Cloud on AWS is available, but we also have new enhancements in the core service offering on AWS itself. One of the hallmarks of VMware-based infrastructure has been, of course, data center availability. Over the years, customers have leveraged VMware and its SDDC in order to build some of the most highly available data centers out there. Customers have questioned or have concerns that when they move to the cloud, will they be able to get that same level of high availability which they have experienced in their private data centers. With VMware Cloud on AWS, we have introduced a new concept called Stretch Clusters, which is now available as a preview. It gives you the access to the same high availability capabilities that have protected applications in VMware private data centers for the past 20 years. This is an example of extending our consistent infrastructure and consistent operational support from the data center to the cloud. But even more, this is an example of VMware and AWS working together and combining our expertise to benefit our customers. More and more of our customers are leveraging data to make their businesses successful. And that, of course, means that we are seeing a lot more data-intensive workloads. One of the things that we do with VMware Cloud on AWS is to help customers deploy these data-intensive applications without escalating costs. We are expanding our support for these data-intensive workloads and therefore helping customers manage their costs. With vSAN deduplication and compression, customers can reduce cost by up to 40%. Remember, at the very core of the VCF is our vSAN storage technology. And we estimate that that can reduce the storage consumption by 50% by using its deduplication and compression natively built into vSAN. We do some of this by leveraging, of course, high-performance all-flash storage. For example, consider a workload that requires 150 terabytes of storage. With this, you can save up to 1.2 million over a 3-year period by reducing the number of hosts required to run this workload. This makes cloud even more attractive. Of course, when you work with customers, and when VMware works with customers over many years, we are very proud of the ecosystem that we built across the industry. And the same is true when we look to VMware Cloud on AWS. Some of the most experienced service providers have already built practices around VMware Cloud on AWS, and today we're adding a 9th global system integration provider, and that is Fujitsu. Fujitsu will focus on 3 key service areas: cloud advisory and integration services, cloud bursting for seasonal and cyclical capacity, and cloud native services to help customers continuously evolve and build their new application portfolio. The large global footprint and the European presence that Fujitsu can bring to bear with VMware Cloud on AWS adds to the great support as we look to the global expansion of this service. So you've heard about the expansion of the VMware Cloud on AWS to Europe. You've also seen about our new partnerships with Fujitsu. However, we've also enhanced some of the cloud services which run on top of VMware Cloud on AWS. And to learn a little bit more about that, I'd like to invite Purnima Padmanabhan, the VP of Product Management for our Cloud Management products.
Thank you, Ray.
Hi, Purnima. So Purnima, one of the things we want to actually learn about is what some of these enhancements to the existing VMware Cloud services are. Over and over, we're beginning to release many of our products as services on top of VMware Cloud on AWS. You're responsible for driving a lot of that, understanding how we put those pieces together. So could you tell us a little bit about what are some of the changes, what can we even expect a little bit in the future?
VMware Cloud services have been built grounds up to be multi-cloud. And what we have done today is expanded them to VMware Cloud on AWS.
Okay. We spoke in the past about a product called the Hybrid Cloud Extension.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how that has been enhanced and where it's going now?
Absolutely. So we announced, actually together,
that's correct, at VMworld.
Hybrid Cloud Extension at VMworld, and now we have enhanced it further to work out of the box with VMware Cloud on AWS. Okay. What happens is in many customer environments, you have different pools of vSphere capacity, right? You have vSphere on-prem, you have vSphere in a managed service provider, and now you will have your vSphere infrastructure at VMware Cloud on AWS. And migrating workloads across these environments is hard. Networking challenges, different security profiles, different management paradigms. And so that is why we have VMware Hybrid Cloud Extension. What it allows you to do is very rapidly move massive amounts of workloads from one vSphere-based cloud to any other vSphere-based cloud, be it on-prem, hosted by a provider,
right,
or VMware Cloud on AWS.
And this isn't just moving the data. It actually moves the configuration information. It helps you actually in the process of bringing up that new cloud or those existing infrastructure on that new cloud.
That is right.
Okay.
So what HCX allows you to do is move that entire application without disrupting operations. That's one. Number two, when you have large numbers of workloads, it can very rapidly move these workloads. And number three, the best part, let us say you have these different pools of vSphere capacity. Imagine you could use this as one resource pool and run hybrid apps.
Across all these
multiple clouds.
Okay.
We are introducing the availability of two new consumption models. Hybrid Cloud Extension Enterprise that allows this powerful service to be consumed on-prem.
Okay.
So, and you can even use it for migrating workloads across different vSphere environments on-prem. And Hybrid Cloud Extension for clouds. And that allows you to move workloads across multiple clouds, including VMware Cloud on AWS, IBM Cloud for VMware, and OVH.
You know, many people are trying to get visibility into what are they actually leveraging in their cloud service, what are they spending, so that you can understand how can I optimize and so on. Cost Insight helps them do that. Could you tell us a little bit about the enhancements there?
Yes, so we again introduced Cost Insight at VMworld. And now what we have done is we have enhanced Cost Insight to support VMware Cloud on AWS.
Okay.
The first thing when you have multiple clouds is you have to figure out which applications do I move?
Yes.
And how much will it cost for me to run in these various environments? So we have enhanced Cost Insight, and you can get a very accurate understanding of what it will cost you to move an application to VMware Cloud on AWS and run it there.
Okay.
But often that's not enough. Right? You want to know not just the cost of running the workloads, but you want to know what does it take in terms of the networking bandwidth.
Right.
Right? The network egress costs can completely change the profile of an app. And so we have created an integration between Cost Insight and Network Insight, which we had talked again about at VMworld, and which allows customers to identify very accurately not just the cost of running a workload, but the cost of the network consumption. The network egress costs.
Okay. So what you're seeing here is many of the services which you and I and Chris Wolf spoke of at the VMworld last year, many were being introduced at that stage, have now seen significant enhancements, and more importantly, are now available as part of this core VMware Cloud on AWS product.
That is correct.
Okay. One of the other things I see when I speak or when I talk to customers a lot is, you know, they're focused on how do I get my applications running in the cloud, how do I move the data and the infrastructure there, but then they want to figure out how are things actually running, what's happening in terms of all of the log information, all of the intelligence you're trying to gather around what is the actual behavior of these apps.
Now, customers are used to having a good perspective of their SDDC infrastructure on-prem. But that goes away.
Because now
when it's in the cloud.
Exactly. It's no longer transparent.
It's no longer transparent. And that is where log intelligence comes into play. This brand new service brings the power of machine learning to sift through large amounts of data, large amounts of logs, and quickly put analytics and insights at your fingertips. It is also paired with visual dashboards and out-of-the-box SDDC content.
Okay.
And the best part is you can enable all of this with a single click from VMware Cloud on AWS.
So one of the most interesting products when we were at VMworld last year was when we demonstrated how Wavefront was able to truly analyze that application. Remember the pizza story application that we had?
That's right.
And this is a complex application, and there was something going wrong with that application. And on stage, you demonstrated how Wavefront was able to indicate some of the challenges with this application.
Wavefront, again, just to remind, real-time streaming metrics platform.
Okay.
Can take data from your microservices-based apps across any cloud, thousands and millions of points of data, and rapidly correlate and identify that one issue that is causing the problem, right? And now we have further enhanced Wavefront with about 45 plus out-of-the-box integrations. These are integrations to standard cloud-native application packages, Kafka, Cassandra, MongoDB, and we have curated a set of dashboards. So what it does is it puts the subject matter expertise right at your fingertips.
So for these applications, part of your DevOps development cycle, when you're actually deploying these, Wavefront will be able to basically keep an eye on this and let you know when something's going wrong,
That's
understand
right.
what's happening with the metrics.
Absolutely. And more importantly, your startup time
Okay.
goes down to 0.
Okay.
Right? Because these are available out of the box.
Yes.
You click, add, and now you're monitoring.
Okay, so look, it's obvious many people in the cloud are developing cloud-native applications.
That's
and
right.
the applications that you listed right now, in terms of how Wavefront is integrated with them, Kafka, et cetera, they tend to be cloud-native applications. But what about more standard enterprise applications? Perhaps what you might have used VROps to work with in the past. Are they now integrated with Wavefront?
Yes, we have introduced Wavefront for vRealize operations.
Okay.
Now, vRealize operations continues to be our primary platform for all infrastructure operations and will continue to do app operations. But if you want to get complete visibility of your enterprise apps as well as your custom apps, all the way through as a single stack, Wavefront for vRealize operations can help you there. vRealize operation goes and discovers your environment, discovers the virtual machines, but also the apps that are running on those virtual machines and instruments those apps with the right monitoring agents and sends them off to Wavefront.
Okay.
So you don't have to do all that instrumentation by yourself.
Okay.
Thousands of VMs can be quickly prepped
Okay.
and the data sent to Wavefront. And now within a Wavefront console, I can see my enterprise apps, my packaged apps like Active Directory and Oracle databases all in one console.
Excellent. Lots of enhancements, lots of improvements, some new stuff in there. I hope that people will really see the acceleration that we are able to do in terms of making these management products available, particularly now that we're focused on delivering many of them as SaaS.
That is right. And I guess the theme is still consistent infrastructure,
correct,
consistent operations.
Yes. Excellent.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Purnima. Thank you. You've heard from Purnima about how we are improving the management of your infrastructure, leveraging these new types of services. But in many cases, VMware is working with partners within our customers' organization. We want to talk a little bit about what's happening with the partner program enhancements. This has been a cornerstone of VMware's success over the last 20 years. The building, the leveraging, the working very closely with a broad partner community. These can be technology providers, ISVs, building applications optimized for vSphere, or it could be those partners who we partner with in order to deliver global solutions, such as our managed service providers. One of the things we want to ensure is to help those partners evolve with us as we do more and more in the cloud. So today we're announcing a major enhancement to the VMware Partner Network program. This is to help solution providers, managed service providers, and system integrators build a true hybrid cloud business. It expands our solution provider program and our cloud provider program, MSP model, to include VMware Cloud on AWS. What does this program include? It includes training, tools, and the financial incentives to make sure that those partners can be successful with VMware. We are also announcing the VMware Cloud on AWS solution competency to give partners the expertise to help customers to plan and deploy hybrid clouds.